Xin chào mọi người, mình là Ly, một concept designer và nhà minh họa thời trang. Mình từ Canada về Việt Nam tới đây cũng được khoảng 3-4 năm rồi. Và mình chọn Sài Gòn bởi vì nơi đây là một nơi rất là sôi động và có rất là nhiều những nhân vật thú vị và những trải nghiệm để bạn có thể thử. Hôm nay thì Ly muốn thử một số những loại đồ uống mới nên là mình đã hẹn với anh Raj ở đây. Anh Raj là người đại diện của thương hiệu Iron Balls. Chúng ta hãy cùng nói chuyện và làm quen với anh Raj nhé. Hi Raj.
Hello Lee, how are you?
Good, good. Can you tell the audience a little bit about yourself and where you're from and why you're here in Saigon?
Sure, so my name is Raj Taneja. I think people in Vietnam can't really pronounce my name, so in a lot of cases I get called Ray. But you have to say it like 3 times, like Ray, 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 otherwise I won't hear it. I've also been appropriately called Rao or Zo in social media because of this. So who am I? Well, look, I'm a Canadian guy that came to Vietnam about 4 years ago. Basically, I run a non-profit association. So this organization is called La Chaîne de Rôtisseurs. It's the world's oldest chef, hotel, and gastronomic society. Basically, it's about food, and we are a group of people that I think really appreciate food, foodies, but we do it on another level. So the organization is 771 years old. It was founded by St. Louis, or was King Louis IX at the time. And essentially, our job is to improve culinary in this country. So that's why I'm here.
Wow, fantastic. So can you tell us a little bit about your observation about like the fine dining scenes in Vietnam and in Saigon in specific?
Yeah, I think, look, Vietnam has been struggling with fine dining for a very, very long time. And it's great to see that now people are coming back to this country.
Right.
And with that, they're bringing knowledge. So yeah, actually there's a lot of places, a lot of hidden places in Vietnam that provide fine dining. There's also new places that are popping up, like Monkey Gallery, for example. Really, really special. But, for example, they're really dedicated. So Hoi An Sense is like one of my favorite restaurants in Saigon because they're really dedicated to providing a great experience and great food. So yeah, Saigon is great. Hanoi is also doing very, very well. We have Mr. Tung from Tung Dining who's pushing the envelopes. So at the JW Marriott in Hanoi, you also have John Anthony, which is I guess it's from the same group that made Mott 32 in Hong Kong and Vancouver and Singapore. And so you get these really cool installations that are now starting to come to Vietnam.
That's
and I hope
great.
to see more of those.
That's great. And really great recommendations too. Now I really want to try some of those places. So how do you think like that our fine dining scene like stack up like in terms of how it compares to like an international level, and do you have any recommendations in terms of like how to bring it like up to an international standards or?
Right, so currently we have, look, if you compare the fine dining scene in Vietnam to the rest of the world, it's not as developed. I think it's quite advanced though, and in every city I find pockets. So for example, you'll go to Nha Trang and you'll find this one chef who is sitting on a cliffside. It's called La Petite Maison de Song Khai. And he's a phenomenal chef. And you find these really cool guys all throughout the country, whether you go to the Park Hyatt in Saigon and you meet with Heath, or you go to An An in Saigon as well with Peter Kung Franklin. You go into the north and you've got guys that are also working in hotels because they're typically the places that can pay them, pay this type of talent to sustain it. But then you have like standalones in Hanoi as well, and there's like a steakhouse called La Bête. He's doing aged beef, not just Wagyu beef, which people seem to adhere to and really love in this country, but they're doing like a British beef and they're doing an American beef as well. So you get the opportunity to have diversity now, and that's only because the borders with respect to food are open, so that means that you can ship food from anywhere in the world, and the people are here to execute on it. They know how to use these products. And then the third thing is that you have these tools and techniques that are, you have all these techniques and tools that are being more prolific in the food industry. So in improving Vietnam, I think, yes, we need to bring expertise from outside, but it's also about schooling. So I'm a big proponent for education, and actually at this point in time I'm looking for someone to partner up with who can help me bring a school from abroad that will now help the Vietnamese get culinary training. You teach a young kid to cook. If he's an executive chef, by the time he's 25, 26, he's set for life. And I think Vietnam will grow immensely and quickly when you start to put this type of energy into the culinary world.
And into younger people too.
Absolutely.
Very cool. All right, so now tell me a little bit about your brand of gin, which I can see here.
Right.
Iron Balls.
Right. So actually, before I came to Vietnam, I was involved with this brand. It's Iron Balls. It's a gin product. It's made by a good friend of mine. His name is Ashley Sutton. And basically, Ashley has always been in love with the sea. He's sort of a nautical type of guy. So his background is that he's an iconic bar designer. So if you go to places like Kuala Lumpur, or you go to places like Tokyo or Bangkok, you'll find his work. Even if you go to Phuket. So if you go to the Ink 360 bar in the Intercontinental, the octopus design, the kraken as we like to say, is his design. So this guy has a real mind for design, and he created this bottle that actually is really low center of gravity, so that it doesn't fall off the table if you're on a rocking ship or something like that. But it's also sort of inspired on nautical world. It's like a searchlight. It has Jolly Rogers on it, the little pirate that sort of indicates something nautical as well. And really, we're talking about being we'll call it a new Western gin, which is using Asian botanicals.
Flavors.
So we're completely flavors, coconut, pineapple, and instead of using dried botanicals to make or macerate our gin, we're actually using fresh fruits. So we're using a lot of fresh fruit. There's a ton of fresh fruit in that bottle.
Fantastic. I mean, one wouldn't be able to tell.
It's quite clear.
It's quite clear. It's really cool. Can you tell me a little bit more about these ingredients? Are they where do you find them, and what was the inspiration behind it?
Right. So actually, we try to keep our formula secret, although it's very easy to detect that we do have coconut, pineapple, coriander seeds. We have lemongrass, ginger, and of course juniper. So those are our 7 botanicals. How they're put together, well, we don't talk about that. Because it's gin, we have to get the juniper from outside. They don't grow in Southeast Asia, but everything else is grown in Southeast Asia. Because it was founded in Bangkok and has become quite popular in Bangkok. It's actually, I think, the country's most popular gin. We source everything from Thailand. But recently, we've actually moved production to Vietnam. So it's a big win for us here.
Wow, so it is a Vietnamese product now.
It is, yes.
Really nice. I'm really excited to actually try it. Shall we, is there anything else that you want to dive into?
Well, I think, at the end of the day, we have a great gin product here, but also we have tonic. And so this is the most important aspect of making a great gin and tonic. You can have an excellent gin, and by the way, this gin can be drank on its own. You don't need to add anything to it. It's not so dry that you're going to be in the situation where you need to add something. But tonic is really important, and so we're actually working with Fentimans because I think they have really great quality range of products. So you have a lot of options. If you're a person that's very, very picky, you can find your flavor. You can go out there and taste all of their tonics and see what it's like. So look, we have here the premium Indian tonic water, and then we also have the pink rhubarb. These are 2 of my favorites. The premium Indian tonic water transports me back to the land of the Maharaja. So I think of myself as someone who's sitting on a train or living in the Taj Mahal and grabbing a glass of gin and tonic.
Very nice. So which one would you recommend for a complete newbie like myself?
Look, I think the Indian tonic water is something that's a little bit hard to get your head wrapped around because it is a very old formula. It's quite bitter. So I say we try the rhubarb.
Nice. Okay. I'm really excited to do that. And yeah, so just from a fashion perspective, I do. It's basically you don't wear a suit with flip-flops, right? Nên là cái này cũng là một cái pair rất là tuyệt vời để cả hai product đều hỗ trợ cho nhau. Bây giờ chúng ta cùng thử hai sản phẩm này nhé. nay thì tụi mình đang ở Snapbox Speakeasy Bar. Thì hiện tại ở đây mình có một bạn bartender là bạn Quỳnh sẽ pha một số những đồ uống cùng tụi mình. Okay, so Raj, how do you think we should go about this?
Well, I think first things first, we need to taste the gin on its own. So we drink it neat. We pour a little, I guess I would say an ounce of Iron Balls product into what we like to do is actually serve it with a wine glass. We don't like to put citrus inside our drinks as well, so we actually serve it with a stick of pineapple and basil, and that's just because of what's already inside the gin. So Quinny's going to open up the bottle, and then she's going to pour us a couple of glasses, and then we're going to taste it on its own. And then after that, we'll add the ice and we'll add the tonic.
Great.
And then see how you feel as we add the tonic.
Great. Try it.
So,
Cheers.
it's pineapple, and this is really unique to this gin. You don't find any other gin around the world that smells anything like this. And I think this is the reason why people fall in love with my gin.
Dạ, cái mùi trái thơm ở trong cái gin này thực sự là rất là rõ ràng luôn. Khi mà mình chỉ cần ngửi qua thôi thì cũng thấy là cái hương vị của mùi dứa đấy nó rất là nồng nàn và ngọt ngào. Bây giờ chúng ta hãy thử nhé.
And then we taste it twice. So the first time we taste it, it'll start at the front of the mouth and it'll be on the tip of the tongue, so to speak. That'll be your first taste, and then your second taste you'll smell again, and then you'll try to get some liquid to the back of your mouth so you can get it all over and have a really good understanding of what flavors are involved here, what profile. So that's what we're going to do first. So cheers.
Cheers.
So, not bad for a morning drink, is it?
Oh yeah.
Now you understand why the British like to drink gin and tonics in the morning. And then of course we'll try again. So we'll smell it again. On the second smell you can't smell as much because now it's in your mouth. But you're definitely still tasting a lot of this gin. And it's not so harsh, is it?
No, it's not.
So you'll notice now in the second sip you'll get a little bit more sweetness. It's from our fermentation process. And of course you can bring some air in and oxidize it a little bit and all these other things. So that's the first step. Okay, so now, look, we need to dilute our liquor. We can't drink this straight like this all the time unless you have like incredible capability to sustain drinking alcohol.
Right.
So now,
especially for a newbie like myself.
we dilute. And why do we dilute with tonic? A couple of things. First of all, tonic is sweet. So it's sweet, it's effervescent, and it is traditional, and it complements the beverage. So, you know, they drank gin and tonics, especially in India, when the British had first come there. They drank it because they needed to repel mosquitoes. So there's actually quinine inside the tonic that makes mosquitoes go away.
Wow.
So drink a gin and tonic a day and keep the mosquitoes away.
Super useful tip. Theo lời của anh Raj thì ngoài việc là chúng ta uống gin không uống chỉ với đá mà thôi hoặc là uống clean hoàn toàn, thì ngoài ra thì chúng ta còn có thể pha nó với một cái loại tonic water nữa. Ở đây thì chúng ta có tonic water của Fentimans. Loại này khá là đặc biệt và nó sẽ tạo thêm cho cái cảm nhận có thêm những cái vị ngọt và vị đắng để cho cái cảm nhận nó được toàn vẹn hơn. Nên là các bạn có thể thử pha cùng với loại tonic này. Alright.
See you guys.
Thank you.
Cảm ơn nhiều.
Cheers. So I have this one here,
So you have a rhubarb tonic.
pink rhubarb, and you have the premium Indian.
Yeah, so
Right.
this is a very bitter tonic. Like I said, it's an old recipe. It's one of the original recipes. So over the years, gin has become a very popular drink, and the tonics have become quite refined. This one, well, not for everyone, but it is for me. So. I hope you're really enjoying that.
I really am actually. I really am. This pink rhubarb one just really smoothens it out and just makes it probably a little bit like softer and more approachable to like girls like myself. The gin still comes through. It's fantastic with especially with the piece of pineapple in it as well. So this is unsurprisingly seamless. Really nice.
We'll have to send you home with the bottle.
All right, so thank you, Raj, for introducing me to Iron Balls and Fentimans today. I feel like I really learned something new and really enjoyed these drinks.
Cảm ơn các bạn đã cùng trải nghiệm với Ly ngày hôm nay. Hẹn mọi người ở những số roll call lần sau nha.
Cảm ơn Ly ơi.
Cảm ơn anh.
Cảm ơn rất nhiều.
Cheers.